Respect, by that new respect, because this is a very significant, important document. Without this, we wouldn't be here right now. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please, bat bravo, applaudi, not commencer kounyari. Please put your hands together for
Fabienne Claude. Put your hands together, put your hands together. And ladies and gentlemen, please,
Greetings.
as she reads, please, if you can just keep it down just for a little bit, just so you can hear the words, we will truly appreciate it, okay? When les Américains have fait Pledge of Allegiance, everyone is silence. So ça c'est pas nous, and by respect. Thank you.
Please, yes. And give thanks, family. Give thanks. It's Independence Day. We gotta represent Haitian Independence Day. And if you are Haitian, that means you have an ancestor, you have a relative that survived the Haitian Revolution. All right, so Emperor Jacques Dessalines, he said this in 1895. He declared us independence. Citizens, it is not enough to have expelled the barbarians who have bloodied our land for 2 centuries. It is not enough to have restrained those ever-evolving factions that one after another mock the specter of liberty that France dangled before you. We must, with one last act of national authority, forever assure the empire of liberty in the country of our birth. We must take any hope of re-enslaving us away from the inhumane government that for so long kept us in the most humiliating torpor. In the end, we must live independent or die. Independence or death. May these sacred words bind us and be the signal for battle and our reunion. Citizens, my countrymen, on this solemn day right here, I have brought together those courageous soldiers who, as liberty lay dying, spill their blood to save it. These generals who have guided your efforts against tyranny have not yet done enough for your happiness. The French name still haunts our land. And let me be clear, the French also, this is European, this is also the US, this is also Western. So when we say France, know that we are speaking of the whole Western, okay? So everything revives the memory of the cruelties by this barbarous people, barbarians. Our laws, our habits, our towns, everything still carries the stamp of the French. Indeed, there are still French in our island, and you believe yourself free and independent of that republic, which, it is true, has fought all the nations, but which has never defeated those who wanted to be free. What? Victims of our own crudelty and indulgence for 14 years? Defeated not by French armies, but by the pathetic eloquence of their agents' proclamations. When will we tire of breathing the air they breathe? What do we have in common with this nation of executioners? The difference between its cruelty and our patient moderation, its color and ours, the great seas that separate us, our venging climate, all tell us plainly that they are not our brothers, that they never will be, and that if they find refuge among us, they will plot again to trouble and divide us, and it's happening now in Haiti. Native citizens, men, women, girls, and children, let our gaze extend on all parts of this island. Look there for your spouses, your husbands, your brothers, your sisters, indeed. Look there for your children, your infants. Have they become, I shudder to say, the prey of these vultures? These are vultures out here. Instead of these dear victims, your alarmed gaze will see only their assassins, these triggers still dripping with their blood, whose terrible presence indicts your lack of feeling and your guilty slowness in avenging them. We gotta listen up, family. Dessalines said this. What are you waiting for before appeasing their spirits? Remember that you had wanted your remains to rest next to those of your fathers. After you defeated tyranny, will you descend into their tombs without having avenged them? No, their bones would reject yours. And you, precious men, intrepid generals, who, without concern for your own pain, have revived liberty by shedding all your blood. Know that you have done nothing if you do not give the nation a terrible but just example of the vengeance that must be wrought by a people proud to have recovered its liberty and jealous to maintain it. Let us frighten all those who would dare try to take it from us again. Let us begin with the French family. Let them tremble when they approach our coast, if not from the memory of those cruelties they perpetrated here, then from the terrible resolution that we will have made to put death anyone from French, born from the French, whose profane foot soils the land of liberty. We have dared to be free. Let us be thus by ourselves and for ourselves. Let us imitate the grown child. His own weight breaks the boundaries that has become an obstacle to him. What people fought for us, what people wanted to gather the fruits of our labors, and what dishonorable absurdity to conquer in order to be enslaved. So we're enslaved. Let us leave this description for the French. They have conquered but no longer free. Let us walk down another path. Let us imitate those people, extending their concern into the future and dreading to leave an example of cowardice of posterity. Prefer to be exterminated rather than lose their place as one of the world's free peoples. Listen up, family, listen up. Let us ensure, however, that a missionary spirit does not destroy our work. Let us allow our neighbors to breathe in peace. May they live quietly under the laws that have made for themselves. And let us not, as revolutionary firebrands that we are, declare ourselves the lawgivers of the Caribbean, nor let our glory consist in troubling the peace of the neighboring islands. Unlike that which we inhabit, theirs has not been drenched in the innocent blood of its inhabitants. They have no vengeance to claim from the authority that protects them. I know, right? I wanted to say it in Creole. I heard that. I heard that. Fortunate to have never known the ideals that have destroyed us. They can only good wishes for our prosperity. Peace to our neighbors, but let this be our cry. Anathema to the French name. Eternal hatred of France. Natives of Haiti. My happy fate has to be one day, and sentinel who would watch over the idol to which you sacrifice. I have watched sometimes fighting alone, and I have been so fortunate as to return to your hands the sacred trust you confided to me. Know that it is now your task to preserve it. In fighting for your liberty, I was working for my own happiness before consolidating it with laws that will guarantee your free individuality. Your leaders whom I have assembled here, and I owe you the final proof of devotion. If there could exist among us a lukewarm heart, let him distance himself and shudder to take the oath which must unite us. Let us vow to ourselves, to posterity, to the entire universe, to forever renounce France, and to die rather than to live under its domination, to fight until our last breath for the independence of our country. We must. And you, a people so long without good fortune, we almost there. Witness to the oath we take. Remember that I counted on your consistency and courage when I threw myself into the careers of liberty to fight the despotism and tyranny you had struggled against for 14 years, family. Remember that I sacrificed everything to rally to your defense, family, children, fortune, and now I am rich only with your liberty. My name has become a horror to all those who want slavery. Despots and tyrants curse the day I was born. If ever you refuse or grumble while receiving those laws that the spirit guarding your fate dictates me to your own good, you would deserve the fate of an ungrateful people, family. And so here we are today. But I reject that awful idea. You will sustain the liberty that you cherish and support the leader who commands you. Therefore, vow before me to live free and independent and to prefer death to anything that will try to place you back in chains. Swear finally, family, to pursue forever the traitors and enemies of your independence. So Jean-Jacques Dessalines said this in Guanaïve. And so if you didn't take it in now, go ahead and read it. Go ahead and take it in. Remember, family. Woo. Remember, family, if you are alive right now, if you are calling yourself Haitian, if you are calling yourself Haitian, you have an ancestor, you have a family that survived the Haitian Revolution. Happy Independence Day, family.
Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up.